لي زامي مرحبا بكم معنا مرة أخرى في هذا اليوم الخامس والأخير ديال بطولة إفريقيا للرياضات الإلكترونية الدار البيضاء 2024 مباشرة من القاعة المغطاة ديال مركب محمد الخامس ديال العاصمة الاقتصادية المغربية. فرحانين بزاف باش نكونوا معكم اليوم بوغ هذا النهار ديال الفاينلز افيك جوج ديال لي فينال اللي غادي يكونوا مي فريمون هيستوريك، مجموعين كاع البلدان اللي كتلقاهم او توب ديال الايسبور افريكان افيك سو بروميير ماتش اللي غادي كاملين نحضروا ليه في اللعبه ديال CS2 اولا اللي كنا كنعرفوها شحال هادي بكونتر سترايك. دونك اللي نوستالجيك وجدوا راسكم مزيان غادي تفرجوا في واحد لو ماتش دونتولوجي بين الفريق التونسي والفريق الجنوب افريقي. واش واجدين حنا توكا واجدين اللي كاسترتي وجدوا راسهم باش نحضروا لهذا لو ماتش. ولكن meanwhile I'm gonna go to my buddies, to my two almost twins with South African captain, with Tunisian captain. We're going to start with Awesome. What is the team mindset before the finals?
We are calm, confident, ready to play the game.
Did you prepare some trash talk to the Tunisian team, or are you just going to pay him respect or what?
And it's nothing but respect for Tunisia. Strong team.
Okay, so may the best team win, and we're going to the Tunisian team captain, Mr. Pote. How do you feel before the final?
I'm feeling great, actually. We are prepared for the match. We have a great mindset as winners, as always. We're here to win. We're here for the first place. So we hope we're going to have a nice match. A lot of respect outside the game, but in the game there is no respect.
So kill each other in the game, respect each other out of the game. I love this fair play image. Guys, good game, good luck. To the best team is gonna win. So guys, let's just get ready for this first final, CS2 between Tunisia, South Africa. Casters, are you ready?
Oh, you better believe it. We are ready here. It's the final of the African Esports Championship. Amanda, this is Neo, and we are ready to go. How are you feeling on this fine morning?
I'm looking forward to it, right? We've got kind of two different ways to talk about this. Obviously, a lot of respect shown and two great teams out of the tournament. But there's one thing. There's no pressure in the sense both of these two sides have already qualified for the World Esports Championship. This is now for bragging rights, for seeding, a little bit extra money as well from that prize pool. $5 being that difference as well. So, of course, small things like that. But these two sides have already played together in the group. They're in that group of death over in Group A, teams like Morocco and Mauritius already. And we look to see now in the second time of them playing, of course, here in this grand final, what they're like.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really fun. I mean, I think the bragging rights is going to be important, right? Like, you want to be able to say, like, listen, we're the best country in Africa to play Counter-Strike at the moment. So, you can claim that at least for a year into the future. I think that's pretty sick. So, I bet they're going to want to play hard. And I like the respect, but also both teams, we know they're going to be pretty sharp. So, I really look forward to it.
Yeah, and I think the big thing for me as well, we kind of had a brief moment to talk about it, is that because they've played already, and because it's been a couple of games since, they've had now a bit of time to prepare and understand sort of what they're going to look like heading in towards this second outing, right? How we're going to counter-attack them, what their sort of game plan is, how we're then going to overcome this. So these small things will start to be this kind of big difference. We had a pretty good game when they first played. It was a 3-mapper, went all the distance, very, very solid showing from both sides. So we come in towards this second time about it and see maybe what they can bring to the table in a bit of a new, improved, maybe, way to counter them.
Yeah, I think it's going to be quite exciting. I mean, the South African roster, we got to learn them a little bit. I would say that in general, they have a lot going for them.
Yeah.
At moments, Awesome looked like he was like the one to really step it up and lead from the front.
For sure.
But, I mean, Tristan was very good with the AWP. They had a lot of different individual prowess, I would say. So just a really solid, I think, well-rounded lineup. They're not relying on just one superstar. Like, it's a whole team.
Yes, exactly that. And, we even saw instances where Deadshot, who plays a little bit more of those anchor positions, was able to put up a lot of great holds, right? And having somebody who's just that stability sort of factor, I think, is a big thing for me. Over on the other side, Tunisia, we all kind of got a moment to touch over with Pote as well, the captain over towards our side, and he had a really, really great performance all the way through. I think it took him a while, maybe half a game or so, to warm up into it, to get that AWP out and really start to find his form. But when he does, man, this guy is so damn talented. So he's going to be, I think, one of the main ports of where we find firepower coming through for this Tunisian roster. If he plays the way that he should, he's going to be very, very difficult to shut down.
Absolutely. It's interesting to see how it's going to play out for the Tunisian side, if they're going to be relying on Remind as much as they were in the early stages, or if it's going to be a little bit different. Curious to see the maps that we're going to be playing on here. I mean, I think that's that's always something to think about. Like, we've been seeing so much Anubis, obviously, but yeah. What do you think this time around?
Well, you'd be happy to know that it will be more Anubis coming through. We've got a bit of Anubis picked in by South Africa. Then we're heading in towards Inferno, picked by Tunisia. And if we need it, Ancient is our decider. And a little bit of a change-up as well in terms of the veto from when they last played. I think having that is already showing the slight variations. When they last played, they started on Dust 2, then went to Anubis, still picked by South Africa. So we know that's their sort of strong map. That's where they like to head. And then we had that decider being Ancient, which was actually required. One of the very few games so far throughout this qualifier which has required that third map. And even then, it went the distance to when they were able to play it out. So a pretty good game. We're looking forward to this one. When they last played, we've got the scores up here for you. This is over in the groups. We weren't on that game, but it was a bit of a banger. We had a 13-10 map number 1 in favor of Tunisia. Then it got flipped 13-8 over on Anubis, which is, as we know, South Africa's like real strong pick. And then we went towards that third map, which ended 13-11. So we went the full distance 24 rounds in that 3-mapper. And this is a veto and a similar sort of game where we're expecting the distance once again.
Yeah, we want that. We've been cheated out of having a third map pretty much every game that we casted so far. So yeah, let's try and see if we can make it a really deep series on this one. I hope so. Yeah. We kind of want to see South Africa bounce back a little bit and kind of figure out what's going on here and maybe be a little bit more ready. I think they will be. I think they're going to be in strong form today. But you always know like how you get started can say a lot too. You have a little bit of a slow start. Maybe you get overwhelmed. Seemed to be the case for Namibia in that third place that started yesterday against Egypt, and also Egypt just started off so well. It's crazy.
Yeah, it was unfortunate yesterday as well. I mean, Egypt looked great all the way throughout, but I think on the other side for Namibia, I feel like they really crumbled under the pressure of that situation. It was really difficult for them to get going, to find their form, to get their individuals online as well. We kind of looked at a couple of them who had maybe moments. Shackles in particular was somebody for me, I think, at least in a series where you barely get any rounds, it's tough to have individuals shine. I think he did a pretty good job, but as a team, unfortunately, I just think they got outmatched. Egypt looked mechanically so damn crisp, and this is kind of one of those differences. And we had a moment to kind of discuss about how South Africa are going to try and approach this. Tunisia are on another side who are very crisp. They want to take aim duels early, whether it's CT or T side. They're going to be so akin to fight in the first sort of 30 seconds, and then make reactionary plays off the back of it, which is a little bit different from what we would generally see as a sort of prepared strat out the gate sort of thing, mid-round to late round. Sort of how things are played at the kind of that top level over in EU. So having these variations can actually really work in your favor. And at least in the first time they played, it did. I feel like Tunisia really did just caught South Africa a little bit off guard. They just didn't expect that sort of aggression. Yeah,
and I think from what we can tell, they don't intend to play each other because obviously, even though we are on the African continent, the distance is massive. Yeah. And especially, I think, from a server point of view, like as far as I can tell from looking at fiber optic cabling maps, like the cabling goes around Africa, like it doesn't go through the continent, that's just not an infrastructure thing that exists. So yeah, you're gonna have a better time, I think, if you're up north in Africa playing either on European or Middle Eastern servers, and then South Africa is a little bit on its own. So it's not really too shocking that they might not have had a really good read on how good the other team was for the first go around.
Yeah, exactly that, exactly. So when we get things underway and towards this game, I really do want to see how things kind of change in terms of the reactions. It seems like the players are more or less getting ready. Of course, we had our moment to speak to the captains, which was really great. Both of them, of course, have been actually super important in terms of just the raw firepower side, not even just the leadership. And I think the big thing, and we maybe saw a little bit with Namibia, where they went very quiet as a team. Even in some dark situations or things when they're not going quite well, we need to keep that level up. And you really look towards your captain and your leadership roles within the team to be able to keep that momentum, keep the mental state in a positive note. If it starts to dip, you're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I'll say this. Awesome. He was like almost bordering on almost to be like too nonchalant in the whole thing. But I was actually looking at his camera and some of the games that we're casting. Like even in crazy like 1v3s or whatever, like he just seems to be completely chilled out. Like guys, no stress at all. That's a sick quality to have in a way, right? Like obviously you can almost be too disengaged in what's going on, but high pressure situations, not being like super swept up in the whole thing could be like actually kind of cool. So I kind of expect we're going to see a couple of moments where Awesome's going to be stepping it up here.
Yeah, I'm looking to it as well. This should be a really, really good game. Of course, this is our final game here with Counter-Strike. It's the first of a pretty cool day as well. Finals across the board. We had the CS2 Women's Finals yesterday where South Africa picked up their win, booking their spot to the World Esports Championship, which is obviously sick for them. And then, of course, the rest of the finals on today. We've got ours here. Following us on this main stage is going to be MLBB. Over behind that curtain there, we have got the PUBG Mobile Finals as well, where actually the locals that are Morocco are doing really, really well. They're currently finding themselves sort of in that fight for first place with Egypt currently. So a pretty cool spot that they find themselves in.
Yes, I we went to check out a little bit of the PUBG stuff yesterday. It was wild over there.
Yeah, it's a cool setup. It's actually a very, very cool setup.
A lot of players on stage at the same time. You know, it's not something that we're used to. So we'll see. Hopefully they'll get the game live and on the way soon, and we can. Yeah, there we go.
Hey.
We're into it. Tunisia versus South Africa here. It's the finals of the African Esports Championship, and we are on Anubis to begin with. It's going to be South Africa starting on the T side, Tunisia on the CT side, and already a couple of great shots coming out. Chidonj just absolutely wrecking them so far. Oh, I say that, but it's back on again.
Yeah, dead shot with a double. That's really going to open things up. Slash will get a plant off the back of Awesome, and now we've got something to work with. A 1v3 is going to be very difficult on this retake. Julie's to work with, or maybe something, but even still, this is not going to be an easy scenario. 1 versus 3, and he's got no information about what the setup looks like at all.
Yeah, this should be a round that they just win straight up. Slash will take him down. Great recovery from a bit of a tough start there, where you just don't have the, you don't have the first couple of kills going your way. But Chidonj was not able to escape, so ended up going down. It's dead shot for a couple of kills in return. Great work.
Yeah. On the CT side, he doesn't actually play a lot of those sort of super high impact roles, but on the T side, he's one of the main men who's going to be looking to finding a lot of space. I mean, he's that sort of player who would expect to be in the thick of it, in the pack, and so far, so good. Won't be a forced buyout for Tunisia. For South Africa, should be a pretty simple round out from them. They only want sort of any sort of investment. I can't expect anything really to go south.
Okay. Battle brewing in the middle. Pretty awesome to begin with. All the USPs have shown up, and they're pretty much just getting mowed down. Tristan with the 3 good kills there, the Galil. Still, don't necessarily hate it for Tunisia. I think it's fine trying to be a bit aggressive and trying to see if you could find a couple of kills there with the USPs, but it didn't work out. I guess, funnily enough, the MAC-10 there got none of the kills, so they didn't make as much money as they could have, but small detail, not necessarily a big deal.
Yeah, no kill bonus in this instance. So, 2-0, we'll see that full buy come back out for Tunisia, see what they can bring to the table. And I guess for them, this is where they really do have to start things off quite a positive note. They can't get things going here. This is where things do start to become just maybe a little bit uncomfortable, right? If you lose your first full buy, you're going to be talking about going 3-4-0 down already at that point, because you get eco straight after, and that's where things do become just slightly uncomfortable. So this is a very important round. So if you don't find this, they're going to kickstart towards their opponent's map pick on the CT side, and in a pretty awkward note. Also interesting to note that being it is South Africa's map pick, they've given them arguably the more preferential side. This is the only map statistically which is T-sided currently, and they've given them that start. So you can sort of see how South Africa is so confident out the gates.
Yeah, it's a replay here for the pistol round, where the round is almost won by Tunisia here, but these couple of Glock shots just absolutely making it work. So pretty good work. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if they win this round here on the South African side, then Tunisia are going to get thrown into this weird stage where you have to worry about the economy all the time. It's a much harder game at that stage, so pretty important, I think, for the Tunisians to be able to have a bit of an impact early on here. See what they have. Mostly M4s, a couple of FAMAS there to play with. Still a lot of players that are yet to be activated on the CT side. I'm sure they'll have time for it. We're definitely looking for Remind to have a bit of a start here. It's Potato go down first, so that's interesting.
All right, Tristan start things off well. A little bit of spamming towards mid, but right now, it's this fight as that smoke plumes up. Little double coming through. Remind has to be one of the main men we look towards throughout this game. Every single time Tunisia have picked up wins, a lot of it has come off the back of his back. Very, very solid rifle and showing exactly just how. Playing up close, MAC-10 waiting for that smoke to dissipate. Regla sits on the other side. Might be a bit of a Molotov here. He might want to play out in front of it. They will break open. He might start to tick, and he'll fall to the MAC-10. Bit of space now for South Africa to work with in this 3 versus 3, but that MAC-10 is very low.
Yeah, they have armor on the other side, so going to be hard to, I think, win more fights with the MAC-10.
Yeah.
Right now, it's a single player, Fallas, who's hanging around over at the A-bomb side. It looks like he's going to be the one who's going to be under attack, and I think the main job for him is to stay alive. Chidonj, oh, that's a nice sneak up. He's going to be able to find 1 kill there before they get going, but Fallas goes straight down, so good job on Deadshot. Bomb's going to be planted at the very least here. No doubt Tunisia are going to go for a bit of a retake, although that is very, very good. Couple of smokes. Wow, that's going to slow them down. In fact, for Tunisia, they almost have to try and flash their way through it. They're going to run out of time.
Time is of the essence for them. No kits, they've got to make a move here. Tapping on their smoke just to try and find a gap above it. They can't really spot anything, I say that. Deadshot gets caught. Slashing on the back, looking for a 1 versus 2, but he can't. Remind, kick-started this round, and he's the one to close it, Tunisia. They may have to work for it, but they will get their first on the board, and that gun round converted successfully is all we can ask of them. That's going to keep them afloat.
Wow, I wonder if Slash, if he could sort of like slow down time, he probably would have made a choice to play, not to take the straight fight afterwards.
For sure.
Definitely a moment there where that could have been possible, but again, those are like the high pressure situations where it can be very, very tricky to kind of like figure out, what am I doing? Am I playing for time, or am I just taking the fight straight up? And probably felt like he had a bit of an advantage with the AK.
It's true. There's one thing to mention on the other side as well, that is technically a bonus buyout towards South Africa. So getting a bomb plot of 4 kills is not actually a bad thing. Yes, they lost a round, but it's actually seen in a pretty good light. They're going to have more than enough money to buy in towards this next round. They're not under any sort of financial pressure. This is the first time we get to see full buy versus full buy. This will be the real early litmus test to see how this game plays out. Early damage, very good. Their opening kill will come through. XG getting caught. Not the way he wants to start things off. Wriggler, nice start.
Yeah, again, kill through the smoke. I think Remind had 2 of those in the last round. That's also a bit crazy that it works out like that. Slash making up for the last round here and taking down Wriggler. Good Molotov in front if he would have been ready with the AK. It might have been a way to get that kill. I think that, again, probably could have been one there. But we're still in the 3 versus 3, and they're still doing significant damage here. It's Tristan to take down Chidonch, and that'll leave the B bomb side wide open for a bomb plant here. Tunisia, how are they ever going to retake this? I don't think it's going to be easy. Remind, though, it's a strong start. Straight headshot to take down also.
Tristan's low as well. Definitely a world in which they can make this work. Peering out of the smoke. He'll be caught. Remind trying to kickstart things himself as he starts to make a little move around this pillar. Remind will close it. Once again, Deadshot gets caught. And Remind another round which is closed off the back of him alone. Brilliant work from their star fragger, and he's showing exactly what he's got in the locker.
Nice. Tunisian fans definitely on board for this one. I love that. Yeah, Remind, he really has been the spearhead for Tunisia for quite a bit here, and you can tell why. Like, once he shows up, it just changes the entire dynamic. Like, and it's not just like, mechanically he's great, but it's the level of confidence, like, every single time. He's ready to take these fights.
Yeah, exactly. An absolute star when he shows up, and yeah, so far he's doing exactly that. Need to kickstart things, Tristan. Not the way he would have wanted it. Of course, this is a low buy for South Africa. Only the pistols to work with. So not expecting a hell of a lot in this one. A bomb plant would be nice. Anything else, it feels sort of outlandish.
Yeah, and even that might be, I'd say, hard to come by at this stage.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be easy to try and find one of those bomb plants. We'll see if they are going to be able to. Remind, pretty good couple of kills. Almost getting that one, but why not fall away once you got tagged up? So, a bit of a slow round. Not a big deal. For Tunisia, it's about not losing the AKs. Just keep it real chill here, and I don't think a bomb plant's going to be happening. So, yeah, being on the CT side is a brilliant start right now. Yeah,
I mean, this is a sort of round where you're coming in against a low buy who really aren't looking for all too much. The main thing is just about expensive, right? Don't lose any rifles. Don't drop it into the wrong hands either. Swing and a fine. XC will fall. 1 man left. Just Deadshot and a Deagle. Hoping in the prayer to get a kill or 2, but probably unlikely. Flawless going to come through from Tunisia as they will take a lead. And now there's most definitely something to work with over on that CT side. Remember, this is the pick of South Africa. So they're able to take this. It already puts them in such a positive position for the scope of this series. And that's when maybe South Africa start to feel quite a lot of pressure. We know both teams had a lot of prep off the back of their first game. But it's about how can they change things up heading in towards this second variation of it in the grand final too.
Yeah, this is super important. We just said winning that first round for Tunisia was super important for the money. Now they're in the opposite position when they have a decent bank already. And look at how aggressive they're being. This is pretty sick. Like, they're pushing forward in a great position to try and put some pressure on. But Exa will get the first one. Take down Chidonch. Almost went down. He's at 26 health, but work being put in here from South Africa. I think they need to. Like, they need to go on a bit of a run here to recover some of the momentum that they've lost early on.
I mean, the way I normally look at Anubis as a map is you sort of want to be getting around 7 rounds on your T side. I feel like if you get any less, probably in a little bit of a tough spot. It goes quiet as we hit the minute mark. And a couple of contact plays being on 2 different fronts, but Remind going to line up too. That is massive. Peeks out at the perfect time. Awesome and Deadshot both get caught in the crossfire. That's going to hurt. Up on towards the side of Molotov. Balad's going to play inside the flames. He'll fall, but Remind still stepping up. Looking for the ace. Can't quite get it. Denied at 4. And Exy now thrust into a tough 1v2. He's tagged.
Man, Remind is just a superpower in this game at the moment. 11-3, like you said, nearly an ace in that round. Terrifying work. And because he's playing that center of the map position, he's kind of hard to avoid, right? Like, he can rotate to either A or the B bomb site. Like, he can go whatever he wants. So you just know that it's gonna be hard to control him.
It's true. Tunisia, this is a really good spot that they find themselves in. Also, too, where we're at the moment, South Africa are feeling quite a lot of pressure on their shoulders. No 2 ways about it. Unfortunately for them, once again, it's a little bit of a weird buy. We're not expecting a hell of a lot. Tech-9s and half armor can be kind of scary at times, if played properly. Tunisia do need to be a little bit careful. Flash going to come in towards main. They start to make a move, and they're not exactly going quiet about it, but this could be a fight which doesn't go in their favor. What a reaction by Deadshot, and now they've got the ace side.
Yeah, that's wow. That's where you want to see some more grenade usage coming out there from the Tunisian side. Like, there are no smokes, no Molotovs, no flashbangs. Like, the Tech-9s just get close and just completely steamrolls them. So, a bit of a shame. I think that they just weren't anticipating that kind of a strat, but you have to be. You have to be thinking about the money on the other side, and that's why you throw down those preemptive grenades to just stop that from happening. Wow, that is a huge gift to South Africa, right? Like, that's the kind of round where now they can build something behind it, and they can get a little bit of momentum back. Not necessarily bad at all. They even steal, like, 3 rifles. That's sick.
Yeah, you sort of take those sort of rounds with a real kind of grain of salt in the sense that it's not a gun round, so you maybe get a little worried, but it can be massive for sort of make a momentum flip in your favor a little bit. You need rounds like that to turn the tide, especially when you're not playing maybe in the gun rounds themselves as well as you'd want. It's pretty massive. On the other side of South Africa, guns picked up is pretty huge. I mean, it's just less of an investment. Long-term economy builds up a little bit more. Small little positives like that. And of course, keeping this a 1-round game. But Tunisia, still a lead for them. Still an opportunity to buy into towards the next round, so they're not under too much pressure. This could be an important one, though. Once again, South Africa, it's all well and good getting a round like that with Tech-9. So if you lose the gun round to follow it, momentum's still going to be in such a tough spot.
Yeah, I think the dream right now for South Africa has got to be kind of like winning almost all the rest of the round. They made it an 8-4, then they recover so much momentum. They're going to go into the second half thinking that that's it. Like, slow start, but we're ready.
Yeah.
The truth is, Tunisia, I mean, if it keeps going like this, they're going to be in a really strong position. Although their money is also dropping a bit low, and they lose Remind at the start of this round. We all know what that means now. The rest of Tunisia are going to have to step it up. They have players that could do it. But it would have been cool to see Pote maybe with the AWP. We know he's pretty good with that weapon. True. Just can't afford it yet, unfortunately. So a little bit slowed down. It looks like a B attack here. Just waiting, getting a bit closer. They've got so much utility on the T side that they can definitely make it work. Although there's actually some interesting Molotov to be thrown down. So again, they're almost just walking into it. Donj gonna get the first one. Molotov, he gets caught with it in hand. Wriggler, how much can you do here? A double kill would be huge, but Deadshot takes him down. And a 2 versus 3 now. Bomb should be planted, although at least one of them is very low on health here.
It's true.
Deep nade. Oh, not quite deep enough. Thought he was gonna try and get it locked into the corner, but that's a bomb plant.
Yeah, it's not tough. They should know about Pote as well. He starts to make a move. Tristan is low. Got tagged by him earlier in that fight over towards stairs. Will he clear, though, is the question. The answer is yes. Actually, effectively, just as Tristan turns, Valen's going to find one of his own. Deadshot thrust into a 1 versus 2. Make that 1 versus 1, but Pote going to step up. The big flank successful. And Tunisia, yet another round in their favor, and another gun round to make it even more important. So far, South Africa, on their map pick, not going as intended.
Wow, the timing for Tristan to peek away out there outside of the bombs, that's so ridiculous. Like, you just hate to see that. It's the kind of round that lives in your mind for a while. Where you're like, come on, like I was holding that angle the whole time. But great retake coming out here from Tunisia. 5-3. Still, there's a 1 versus 1. Not a lot of money on the CT side at the end, and with bomb plant, South Africa are going to be able to put together a reasonable buy, including that AWP.
Yeah, of course. Gun saved over from that previous round before that too, so it really does help them financially here. Tristan, we've set up. We'll find the opener. That's going to help massively. Deadshot phasing up the smoke here. Tristan to get one more as well. Remind gets caught. Wriggler also falling. Bowtie coming under a little bit of pressure here. Gets caught between a deer and headlights. Didn't know where to look. 2 different angles to fight from, and he will fall. All down to 1 man. Fales might save it.
Yeah, it's, you know, between saving or I was going to say trying to get onto the bomb side and injure it. Fighting, but I doubt there's any point. Yeah, just get that AWP and make a run for it. Wow, some aggression early on from Tunisia. I don't hate it, but the downside is when it doesn't work out, the round kind of blows up in your face. I think they lost 2 players before anything really even happened. So
it's true. Fales will try and save this orb. I think he should be okay. They're not really going in his direction. He should be all right. I'd say that. He's pretty low on the other side, but I think he's far enough away, which wouldn't make much of a difference. They are going to maybe check him. Essentially. Might just slip the net, and he will.
Wow.
So the orb stays alive. That's a small little win on that side. And, I mean, they can buy one South Africa in response. Deadshot can drop one over, so it's not the end of the world. Slash also needs a drop as well. Thankfully, money is workable for South Africa to make this a possibility. Like we said, we've kind of got to see the side. I always want to see them get on T-side at least 7 rounds. 6 is sort of a bare minimum. If they can just take that kind of handshake of a tied half, I think it's all right. But anything less, if you go into the half on T-side at a deficit, I think you are in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, I mean, they're making up for it. They're starting to get back into it now, which is great news. Obviously, it looked like it was going to be a little bit too one-sided, especially the way the Remind was just kind of like just wrecking them round after round. So if they can slow him down and just kind of refocus their attention, I don't know, it's still a wide-open game, to be honest. That 1 AWP on the CT side shouldn't make a huge difference. Yeah, I've got to be honest, like, we've seen Pate hit some really cool shots throughout the tournament so far. So, you know, it's got the potential for it. I won't rule it out. See as we get back into the game here.
Buy around him's really awkward, though, isn't it? Fales, 1-4. Famas as well for Wriggler, and just a few upgraded pistols. Never discount a 5-7, though. It's gone.
It's going to be quick.
Pull off something, yeah. They come barreling in towards the B side.
I like that. You know they're not going to have a great economy. They can't throw grenades to slow you down. The risk is that it could have been a stack at the bomb site, but the upside is, you know, like you get that close onto it, or you just win one fight and it's pretty much over.
Yeah.
So, saving the M4 and the AWP. That's pretty much it. Wow, the economy's really blown open here for Tunisia. If they don't successfully save these guns, they're going to be in so much trouble.
This is the awkward thing about that CT side. That economy can be so difficult to manage in some of these situations. I mean, you can sort of see it here. It will be this game tied up, though. South Africa making sure they have a bit of a conversation at the tail end of their T side. Making sure they do this round flawlessly, too, is massive. It looks like they're going to exit safely, so no fights at this tail end. Both sides sort of probably pretty happy. That's South Africa as well. They don't have loads of money left over. They don't want to be reinvesting for no reason. Some people want what they've got. Same for Tunisia. It's fine. 5-all. This final, we said it had the potential of being not only a bit of a marathon or a game, going towards kind of the distance in the maps themselves, and maybe all 3. When they've last played, went 3 maps, Ancient, 13-11 in favor of Tunisia. So had a bit of distance behind it, and this one could be more of the same. 2 of the best sides we have here at the African Esports Championships are our 2 finalists, our 2 spots as well to the World Esports Championships, representing Africa. And, of course, the bragging rights, named the champion, the best team, the best country when it comes to African Counter-Strike. And I guess for South Africa as well, be a 2 for 2. The women's won yesterday.
That's true, yes. Yeah, now it's a chance for a second title. That actually would be kind of cool. 1-for-1 trade at the beginning. Looks like a very similar strat to the last round. Very impressive. Try and get in here. Ooh, Pate, I don't know if you wanted to get that jump, but Shadon's comes back in. Huge couple of kills. Nearly gets a triple. That 5-7 is deadly. It's Fales to take down Extra, and it's just Tristan left. 1 versus 1 against Fallas on the other side. Good flashes, a little bit of pressure being applied, and a massive health advantage here for Fallas. We'll see if that's going to be making a difference. Tristan does have the AK, so you never really know. A minute on the clock, and there's the peak coming out. Fallas will take him down. That's 6 on the side of Tunisia. I think they're starting to become really happy about this.
Yeah, really good discipline, has to be said there as well from Fallas. He just waits for his opportunity. Doesn't rush in that situation. Knows there's a minute on the clock. He knows he's tagged as well already because they confirmed that. So it's all about just making sure that you wait, bide your time, get that peak which favors you, and it does. Really well played. A lot of experience shown in that 1 versus 1. Unfortunately, I mean, the only real thing you can say in a negative note towards Tunisia is just the jump here for Pota. I think just a slight mistake, maybe a little bit of a panic in that situation, but got bailed out by the P250 behind it.
Oh, yeah.
6 guarantee for Tunisia is very good for a CT side. They can get 7, they're in a really, really strong position. At least South Africa do have a buy, this time though without the AWP.
Look at the push out of the A-bomb side. They've got Tay and Fallas already pushing their way in. I think Exit, he was going to be dead no matter what here. The question is, with the bomb site being lost, can they go for a bit of a retake? Wriggler, good shots. But trade is in, keeping it real tight at the moment. 3 versus 3, and the bomb is going to be planted.
2 fights on 2 different fronts. Pop flash the view. The spam somehow is pretty good. I mean, Awesome gets bailed out by Tristan, but he sort of kept his cross in the right position. Pota going to get caught as well. Last man left down to remind in a 1 versus 3, but if anybody was going to pull this off, it would be him. He's the one who can make a difference for Tunisia. Already had a bit of a whale of a performance. First fight, unsuccessful. Slash will close it, South Africa. Will tie this game up at the half, 6 apiece, but these 2 sides are inseparable right now.
Yeah, really, really, I think important for South Africa to get that last round in there. Still a very open game. I think if it would have been a 7-5 in favor of Tunisia, that is a bit more of a concern. So, yeah, pretty well played here. I like the aggression, trying to clear out that position in the middle. In the afterplant, wow. Pistol round, though, I think will be very important. Like, this is where we're going to see who's going to be starting out hot here in the second half. Yeah. For South Africa, maybe especially being on the TT side, I think it'd be a huge benefit to them if they can start to pick this one up. Wow, running and shooting to remind, but he's going to divert. They're going to be running down. Pate almost lured into that one. So half the T-Force drops down. Half of them are waiting for a peek on the CT side. This is all-out chaos, but X, oh my God, great headshots coming out. And Awesome will take down Fallas, and what looked like a brilliant start here for the Tunisians. Now, it is a 2 versus 2, and the bomb is lost in the middle. Yeah,
this is the big issue. This plan is really good on that T side until they lose the bomb, and it changes the narrative massively. P2K can't convert. Exy thrown into a 1 versus 2, one in which he can't convert. Remind will close things. And another statement made by him as well. Once again, Remind showing his prowess and bailing his team out of a dicey situation. But a really good start coming through for Tunisia. First round taken on the pistol. And now we can start working on this T side. They're going to get their guns out. They're going to get a good buy coming through where you probably expect for South Africa. It's not going to be the case here. Not a bad spot that they put themselves in, and a good way to kind of reclaim some favor and a foothold in a round which sort of looked lost off the back of that mid-fight.
Well, it's definitely on now. Good grenade. That's actually so much damage. Do they know about it yet? But interesting to see. I don't know, man. Tunisia, they're really stepping it up here. Having just the right kind of rounds where Remind steps up, gets a couple of good kills. I mean, it's very, very hard for South Africa to keep everything alive. Like, he's really important at the moment here. Good couple of kills for Wriggler. They'll get the job done. It's fine. The Galil looks like they actually will pick it up. So I guess Chidon doesn't want to fight because he's got the bomb.
Yes. So,
like, if he stays to protect the Galil and he dies, the round's going to be lost. So, fair play.
I do wonder whether he was spotted. There was a world of maybe his shoulder might have been, and the kind of radar would have betrayed him. But it looks like this round's going to be fine nonetheless. It's a little bit more expensive maybe than Tunisia would hope, but I think all in all, if you win the round, you don't really care too much. Then he comes down, Deadshot going to get caught by it. He was already tagged, so I guess we weren't expecting all too much. And that nade against no armor, only ever going one way. Awesome, the last man, the captain, probably going to get caught in the same way. A P2K in a dream, and probably one which won't start. Gets caught by Chidonj at the end. And Tunisia going to take a 2-round lead here over South Africa. Not a bad spot that they put themselves in now. With the first gun round going to come through for South Africa. This is one now that absolutely has to be converted. You lose this, we're talking about Tunisia getting 9, potentially even 10 rounds. And a 10-6 scoreline on T side. At that point, it kind of feels already done. I mean, generally, in terms of momentum, that's normally how it is.
Yeah, I agree. Tough position right now for them. Only a 2-round gap, but it really is about the money there. It's the big thing that we're worried about. See what Tunisia have got for us. Remind is holding the middle for the minute, expecting that there could be some CT aggression coming out, so actually does get grenaded down quite a bit. That's interesting. Deep grenade being thrown. So tags him. Nice to keep him a little bit modest in that sense. Yeah, but a default.
Yeah, I'm looking to see what he's going to do is lurk. Like, we haven't actually seen him do them yet, but maybe as the guns come out, this is where we get to see Remind sort of activating what he does best, where he gets him behind and becomes a bit of a nuisance, right? So difficult to predict. These small things that make Tunisia so difficult to play against.
Well, he's going for it. At least he's working the middle now.
Yeah.
So that is what we saw for them last time on Anubis, is Remind just like trying to open up the middle. And if he's successful in that, like they could do anything they want tactically. 50 seconds. Bomb is being brought back. Oh, wait a minute. They changed their minds. They were actually running back to the B bomb side. You can see the bomb just making a 180. Now back towards the A bomb side instead. 40 seconds. And Remind waiting for his opportunity in the middle. It is really what this is constructed around. So we'll see if he is going to be the first to make a move, or if it will be the main push into the A bomb side. But either way, I think a lot of this will be down to whether or not Remind can drop in the middle here. Nice swing from Awesome, but the Molotov and the flashbang, a little bit of a powerful combination. Challenge, good double opening, and yeah, Remind, he's lurking in the middle, trying to make sure he can do a little bit of damage. He almost gets found, but still, it's a huge distraction. They don't want to be fighting Remind, they want to retake the bomb side.
Yeah, they get kind of dragged away, and it will chip a little bit of that time away as well. Chidon's holding for the swing out. He'll get caught by Slash. Hotel onto Black. Also going to get caught by Tristan. The 1-for-1s are good, and Remind left all alone. Drops his gun, looks for an upgrade. Low on ammo, did spot his shoulder. Remind can't afford to fight here. If he does, he has to rip ahead. Tristan is tagged though.
Oh, he's not buying. That's sick. He heard the little thing. He's just saying, all right, I don't think you have a kit. I think it's just a fake. That's really ice cold for Remind here. Gonna go down, but it doesn't matter. The fact that he didn't buy the first time around means they're still gonna be able to win the round.
Yeah, that's a perfect way to play it as well. You know, you've got no HP, you've got no, at least you're expecting no kit on the other side, and you've got no way of actually properly fighting that. There's no point. Every single way you can think about trying to make an engagement there, it's not going to work in your favor. So just actually playing the ballsy call and just saying, all right, I'm just going to hope you're not sticking this. It's so smart. Sometimes it can work against you. The age-old anecdote, pros don't fake. Sometimes it actually ends up not looking so good, but in that sense, brilliantly played. Real calm and under control in that situation. Kind of that round starts him in a weird way. At least that execute and that kind of post-spawn starts him too. He's buying attention. He's drawing them away from the side. He's doing a lot to just, again, like I said, be a little bit of a nuisance and drag that attention of South Africa away from the main goal of retaking the site. 9-6, though, very important spot. Now Tunisia find themselves in, and unfortunately, the buy is pretty rough towards Africa. We can't really expect a hell of a lot in this one.
Yeah, especially for somebody like Remind, who's so aggressive. It's probably hard not to take that fight. Yeah. Even if he's low on health, he's like, but I surely will win it. So good to see him in a moment there. Like,
rein it back in, kind of thing, yeah.
Win in a different way, I think that's important. 9-6. And they got some upgraded pistols, but yeah, you're right. This is a little bit tough here. I'm not going to lie.
In the semis as well, we did see for Tunisia, the only real kind of negative we had about them was maybe they want to overfight. Speaking of the Remind, he will get caught. MP9 going to swing in and find Riggler. Hang on a moment, this round may have something behind it, or at least more than we expected. Opening 2. Go the way of South Africa on a bit of a half bite. Tunisia need to be careful. Just get caught with the pants around their ankles a little bit.
Yeah, I'm curious to see Riggler not win that fight, right? Running out of a Molotov, that should be fairly winnable. Deadshot goes down, so they're starting to bring it back now. They're really stretched out, Tunisia, so it looks like it's going to be a bunch of, 1v1v1 fights here, unless they can change it. Good Molotov behind that cake position, forcing out Exa. Donj in this fight, and indeed he can. So that's going to be enough to get the plant for him. I think for a bomb plant here on top of it. and I think that should be enough to win the round.
Yeah, I'm not expecting really anything to change at the tail end here. And you might actually even talk about just keeping the M4 alive.
I think so.
There's no real point losing it. Yes, you can have money to buy in, but it's just nice to have a little bit of security, a little bit of comfort in the economy later down the line. It feels like a more than impossible retake. No kit. And they also picked up an AK too, so now we're definitely talking about a save. This is the rifles you want to keep alive and towards the next, to have something to buy around it. It might even mean squeezing out an AWP as well, which could be good to work with. For Tristan, might be able to buy one, potentially with 3K. He's already got the armor as well, right? So he's got all the positives that he needs. Tunisia, though, will lock in double digits. 10 rounds on your opponent's map pick is not a bad spot to find yourselves in.
No.
South Africa right now need to dig deep. They are running out of opportunities, running out of chances to compete in their own map pick. And on the CT side, it really just hasn't got going. They're yet to get around.
I've got to say this as well. I mean, in terms of the Tunisian side, right? We've been highlighting Remind a lot, but he's by far and away not the only person. I would say like the entire squad's actually playing very well at the moment.
Agreed.
So even in terms of the kills, like John is up there, like that, the whole team is coming together. So that's really nice to see. Even though he had some of the highlight clutches so far, you could see, you know, Remind at 13, but John 12, 10 for Phallus and Pate. Like they're all doing pretty good work. So. Not necessarily easy to overcome. Awesome. Just tagged up at the start of the round. Looks like this will be a B finish. Normally, Tunisia, they can do the default where they sort of drop the bomb towards the A side of the map. This time, they actually have it with them towards B, so it could be a quicker execute this time.
Yeah, a couple of bodies, though, going to meet them here. Not exactly going to be the easiest fight to take. 1 minute 20, though. Plenty of time to make a decision elsewhere or otherwise, and you don't have to commit. Information plays probably need to come through from South Africa at some point as well. They really can't allow Tunisia to dictate the tempo of this. They come. First fight is good. Tristan, while blind, finds a kill. Regal and Chadonj will combine, but Tristan's AWP still causing some problems. He will find his third kill and maybe, just maybe, keep them off this side. This could be a one-man army, but the bomb will go down.
Really sick shots and a lack of grenades here for Tunisia in the 2-on-3. If they had more smokes, more Molotovs, they can buy so much time, but they don't. Flashbangs, I guess that could be something. And the fact that Remind is still alive, you really never know. Bit of a grenade to set it up for the retake for South Africa. Oh, they actually picked up another Molotov. That's sick. That forces that's surely going to be an easy kill. Remind gets one, ready for more. Big double kill. And dead shot on his own. 1 versus 2. That little pickup of the Molotov, that really disrupted the retake. And Remind is back in action. 3 kills here and a 2 versus 3 after plant converted. Tunisia, they're getting fired up right now.
Yeah, the people are loving it in here as well. It's good to see. Remind again stepping up, 3 kills to his name. And I thought Tristan's 3K alone might have been enough to shut them down on that B side. But other ideas, Remind, from Black Plat does God's work, and they just cannot seem to clear him. I think Tristan's fight that he takes right at the end there, he's so low. He needs to wait for the support of the rifles and sort of use them as maybe a little bit of bait or cannon fodder, but it doesn't work out. Great work, and Tunisia inch closer and closer to the finish line. On their opponent's map pick 2. No joke what we're seeing out from them. Attack pause being called here.
They love it. Good work, guys. Yeah, this is kind of slipping out of the hands of South Africa at the moment here. 11-6 the scoreline, and they just need 2 more. They've got the money on their side. They've got the momentum right now. South Africa, what is the solution? They're missing that AWP on Tristan as well. That sucks.
Yeah, something's got to change basically here and now. If they lose this, we're talking about broken economy and your opponent's on map point on your map pick. At that point, surely it's done. They still yet to get around on the CT side. This is not a good spot. We already said that maybe not getting at least 7 on the C side, that might come back to bite them. I mean, ultimately, it's not been the deciding factor, but it definitely has hurt a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, you've got less runway, you know? Like, if they would have had 7, then at least would have been a longer time before Tunisia could catch up and overtake the whole game. But right now, they are really running away with it. 3 at B, 2 towards the A side with Deadshot kind of beat them into my... Oh, what an opening. That's a cracking shot coming through from Chadonj. Deadshot here, if he goes down, the round is probably over. Unfortunately, it's very likely that the best option here is to save and play for overtime, which it doesn't feel good to make that call, I guarantee it, but I mean, you're not going to get back into this round.
It's sort of a pick your poison type scenario, right? Which one do you want to do? But I'm with you. I really feel like now saving and playing for overtime is the best option, but even then saving might elude you. Exy will find one with the MP9, thankfully, and might potentially be an upgrade of that MP9 to an AK, but doesn't opt to go for it, at least not for now.
He's so worried that there's somebody else there. Yeah, good job.
All right, he gets it, he gets out. That's all you can ask. And on the other side as well for Tunisia, they've got so many rounds to work with now. They're in no rush. They don't need to hunt. They don't need to risk it, especially for the likes of Pota and the AWP as well. No point potentially losing that. We don't exactly have super long economy to work with on the Tunisian side either. So they'll save. And that'll be Tunisia locking in map point on Anubis on map number 1. South Africa's pick as well. Not a good spot. And they find themselves in. You can see Tunisia getting fired up here as well. Too right. Flawless second half so far. I don't blame them. I'd be feeling that as well. And it looks like South Africa look a little muted as well. They don't really seem to have an answer. If they go for a quicker round, they're just not ready for it. They slow things down, they lose the opening fight. Everything that could go wrong, unfortunately, is right now. And this might be one of those where we just say mental reset and hope you can go again into map 2.
Yeah, that definitely could be the case. I mean, I'm sure they will be able to, but yeah, it's a bit of a rough start here to the finals, no question. Pote going to be taking down Exa. That means they're just 4 kills away from winning the opening map right now. They've got plenty of time and resources, so they can wait it out. Wouldn't be opposed to Tunisia calling a bit of a freeze right here. Oh, even though the flashbang worked, Remind gets the kill, was ready for another one there. Tristan's got 19. He's trying to keep the dream alive here for South Africa. Nice shot from Slash. Back into a 3 versus 3, but he's got to be very careful here. When that smoke fades, he's going to be in some trouble. The backup is not there, so it's just him on the bomb site.
Oh, he gets caught. Pote, nice find with the AWP. We'll open it up as well. Tristan trying to make a bit of a move. He did spot one in towards Jail, but he can't quite find the frag. And now, 1 versus 3 to close things. All down to Awesome, the IGL, the captain, the main man who has to try and bail them out of this spot, but a 1 versus 3, which feels impossible. And especially considering he's got 46 points of HP. He's made noise, so they'll know he's here. Potai posted with the AWP, should spot a shoulder momentarily. NEP, and a dead man walking. Tunisia close map number 1, 13-6. And they make light work out of South Africa on their pick and set up this series for potential of a dominant 2-0.
Yeah, I love it. Great work. The fans out there, you can tell people are super excited. You're hearing the war cries coming out. So I would say great energy coming out right now from Tunisia. Yeah. They look so fired up at the moment. And it wasn't even just the Remind show. Like, he played very well, and he had the kind of high-impact rounds that we wanted, but the whole team really showed up today. So, yeah, we've got a real final on our hands here.
Yeah, what a showing. What a showing indeed. And it really does now start to beg the question about, for South Africa, are they checked out? Is the mental not there? They've got to take this sort of 10, 15-minute breaks in between these maps and really have a strong conversation. You're going into your opponent's map pick, and you've got to try and settle the score and take it to that Ancient third. And even last time when they played an Ancient, they lost it in the group. So at the moment, everything that potentially could go wrong is, and it's not looking too favorable. They've really got to dig deep.
Yeah, no question about it. The mental reset can be kind of tricky, right? Like, you did nothing on that second half. You just had no foot on the ground. So definitely very, very tricky highlights here from the game. Again, Remind, probably going to be featured in a bunch of them. He nearly had that ace in the 1 round. That was pretty sick. So overall, just a strong performance.
Yeah, I mean, what can you say? You know, a one-sided showing, a completely flawless second half, a pretty solid first half as well, all things considered. We said if South Africa don't get 7 rounds on the T side, we're going to be a little bit concerned. And we were. And this is the ultimate thing now where I think for South Africa, they had a couple of opportunities and just didn't take them. And it cost them later down the line. They ran out of chances. Their gun rounds didn't quite work out. And unfortunately, it led to what ended up being a super one-sided scoreline. Yeah,
that is the truth here. Pistol winning that. I mean, that turned out to be like the beginning of something fantastic for Tunisia. Yeah. They just never really looked back from that point on. It was a close pistol, 2v2 at the end there, with Mind getting a couple of USP shots, but yeah, this was so good. Very well played. The 1v1 here where he just, you know, doesn't doesn't go for the fake bomb defuse and just waits it out. It's pretty sick.
And there's so many different people you can highlight in a positive note. I think Pota did really good in terms of his leadership, but also as an AWPer at his moments. I think this guy here, Chidonge, his entry fragging was incredible. His pathing was perfect. His crosshair placement was also excellent. So these small little things that all slot itself into place. You know, we highlighted Remind so much about this game, but everybody had their moments. Riga and Fales, when it came towards that CT side, they were really fundamental in locking down sites. So having everybody step up in that sort of way is absolutely massive. But, you know, it shouldn't really be too much of a surprise at all. Remind walking away with the MVP off the back of that first map. 17 and 12, 103 ADR. An incredible, consistent showing across both halves all the way throughout that map.
Yeah, it's hard to argue against like the impact that he had, especially like, you know, you win a pistol round, you know, with the last 2 kills there. I mean, pistol rounds are so important. So, yeah, great work. No surprises, but South Africa are going to have to come back a new team for the second map, right? They're going to have to really turn it around because if they don't get off to a good start here, it looks like Tunisia have plenty of energy to win this.
Yeah,
really
no, exactly. It did sort of feel as well on the other side that at least like halfway through that second half that they were kind of mentally checked out maybe just a little bit, right? I think for South Africa, they weren't offering enough, and I think you get to a point where when you don't really get any rounds in maybe the first 2 gun rounds, the couple of ecos around it, you do start to just space out and think, maybe this is not for us. Maybe we just can't really compete with these guys on this map, even though they did last time they played. It was 13-8 when they played it in the groups, but unfortunately, not to be in this one. That's only map number 1, though, here in our grand final. We have at least one more, potentially a third behind it. But we're going to throw it on to a break. We'll see you soon.